Steve?
Coach, your room obviously is pretty dynamic. You've moved some guys around. How do you feel like things are kind of stacking up right now, depth chart wise, or is that something that you're going to kind of continue in fall camp?
I think right now, Tyrus Wheats, the one coming out of spring camp and obviously coming out of the season, that was kind of how we were. He's done a nice job over the course of the offseason trying to get better in terms of his body, but then also just his endurance. He kind of burns hot when it comes to that part of his game, and so I think that's one thing that we focused on. But definitely right now he would be the leader as our one, and we expect him to make a lot of plays for us and do a lot of great things on our defense. And then Sherman Timms would follow him up. He's a guy that you know what you're going to get, lunch pail type guy, going to show up, work hard, be where he's supposed to be, and play physical, which we always appreciate. And then Nicholas Jarrett would be the one that follows Sherman Timms, and he's done a nice job learning the system as well. So just excited about all three of them.
Kind of following up on Ty, guys his size don't normally move as well as he does. So that's kind of unique. But, is there a playing weight you'd like him to be at? Maybe he needs to work towards?
I think anywhere under 265 for sure is what we want. We joke with him all the time. He needs to stay out of Chick-fil-A a little bit more. And just the biggest thing with that is when he's not tired, when he's fresh, he's pretty dynamic, just like you mentioned. The minute he gets a little tired, he's a different player. So for us, the biggest thing we've pushed to him is work on his body, work on his endurance. That way he doesn't have to take plays off, and he can play at his maximum capacity, play in and play out, and not allow an offensive line to get any break of having to deal with him.
Theo?
Coach Brandon Ruiz said the other day that kickers are progressing pretty well, going through everything, charting pretty well. How do you feel like they're looking right now, especially Aiden Goodman, he mentioned, looking pretty well so far?
Aiden Martin, yes, sir. Aiden Martin. Scott Goodman's the other one. But, no, they've all done well. I think obviously the spring is huge just because all the reps you can get. You're not worried about maybe over-kicking them a little bit. You always have to be conscious of that. But this is the time, if you're going to stress them a little bit more, this would be the time to do it. I think they're competitive. We're not as consistent as I want to be. I was a little disappointed how he kicked the scrimmage the other day. So Saturday I'm looking forward to getting them out there in front of some people in a crowd and making them go through their process and through the operations as a full unit. And that excites me to see how they respond to that. But definitely got a good group, excited about the young guys. Just need to continue to develop consistency.
Joel?
I know obviously in the return game last year, we saw Tulu at the end of the year have, a huge bowl game, and he's dynamic. We all know what he can do. But I don't know how much you guys get to really work on the return game and things in the spring, but has anybody kind of stood out there or, outside of Tulu, who are you kind of looking to, whether it's this spring or come the fall, to fill those spots at kick return and punt return?
Yeah, Joe, I'd say we work on the return game quite a bit. We work on all phases of special teams quite a bit. That's one thing with Coach Leach that is extremely fortunate in a guy in my position because he stresses the kicking game. He believes in it, and he gives me time and the resources to be able to try to be good at it. So in terms of that, we absolutely have worked on it. Tulu obviously is the guy that showed how dynamic he can be with the ball in his hands. He's fearless. He runs through the smoke really well on kickoff return. So he's done a nice job there. Javante Payton is capable also. And then you've got the running backs, Dylan Johnson and Woody Marks that can be off returners but also be dangerous with the ball in their hands. And then we've worked other guys back there too for kickoff return. As far as punt return is concerned, Austin Williams is as steady as they come as far as catching the football. We'd like Wally to step up in that role as well. And then you've got a guy where, you look at Emmanuel Forbes, on defense. Anytime he gets the ball from an interception, he tends to score. And so we're trying to work him into a bigger role in the return game as well. And he's made some progress there. So excited about the pool, and then it just comes down to deciding who the best person is when we get out of fall camp.